It's the tank engine again. Last time I put a switch on the top to make him go backwards and forwards, but that was a bit of a pain trying to get to the switch. So what I've done this time is to put a little arm on him, and this arm then should hit against these posts here and reverse Thomas's direction. So let's try switching him on and just set the arm. And Thomas goes backwards and forwards quite happily. Of course, it's only a very short distance, but if we were to put him on a big track, these pillars could be a long way apart, or if we had a circle, we'd only need one, because it would come round, hit it that way, then go off round, and when it got back again, knock it back the other way, so it would go backwards and forwards. It's only a proof of possibility to see if it could actually work. Because theory tells me, well, I've had a lot of practice with this and found in the past I haven't managed to do it. But I think that's mainly because of the momentum of the train. So the train has got enough weight in it using, well, it's got the batteries here, not in the train. And the batteries here presumably then give it enough momentum to swap the switch over. Not too sure about that. Anyway, how does it work? What's the idea behind it? Well, the idea is it's what I like. I think it's quite a simple type of switch. I have another one here that I built earlier that I don't think worked too well. Maybe there wasn't enough momentum in the device I put it on. Essentially what you have is two halves of this lollipop. So it's like a lollipop where this is the arm that moves. And then we have two contacts that come across and touch the copper bits of the lollipop. Here I just happen to have used paper clips. So how does it work? Well, if these two arms go to the motor and these two bits of copper, one this side is positive and the one this side is negative. So this is the positive wire coming in, that's the negative wire coming in. So when the arm is there, this side of the motor connects to this positive, and the negative, this side of the motor connects to negative. So the motor goes in one direction. When it hits the little pillar, that moves across. This top side of the motor now, instead of touching this negative bit, is touching the positive. So that side's positive, and this bit down at the bottom here, this arm here, touches the negative. And so therefore it goes in the opposite direction. Quite like that, quite happy with it. Not too sure I want to actually build it into an engine properly. It was just a proof of concept, and it shows that it could work. The engine itself hasn't got any inside it, any electronics. What I've done is to hollow it out, as it were, take out the electronic bits, the battery holder and the switch, and just put in a piece of thin plastic. The idea being that now I've got a lot of room in the top of Thomas where I can put more electronics, which is probably the reason I don't want to expand this. What I want to do is to make Thomas remote controlled. The problem with taking out the battery holder is that it has two prongs on it which come down at either side to hold the wheels in place. So all I've done is to solder wires on to the motor, which then come out from the motor to the two arms on my switch, and that's what makes it operate. You can see inside it has the worm gear that presses against the gear on the shaft, and that in turn has a dog clutch on it. Can't see it now, but if I turn the wheels, you can hear the click, and that's the dog clutch slipping. So the worm gear isn't broken if somebody pushes the train along, because worm gears are bad for that. What I'd like to do is to be able to build my own gearbox in. That's what I've been thinking about doing, but I don't know if it's worthwhile. So this should give me quite a lot of room up the top for putting in some sort of receiver and some other form of battery. I'll have to see how I go on with that. Another idea I had was to put reed switches underneath with magnets, and then put up here a relay, but not just any relay, but a relay that is latching. So it latches whichever micro switch was, or reed switch was operated, would latch the relay to that side, and that would reverse the engine without having the great big lollipop on the top. Yeah, it's an interesting thing, but hacking Thomases seems to be good fun. As I've mentioned before, I've had to grind off the bottom because of this bit of the track which catches, because this isn't a Tommy train, but it is Tommy track. Yeah, like that. It proves it would work, but I don't think it's worth the effort to build the switch into here, and I'd have to use different batteries anyway. Right then, so let's move on. Let's go forward and see what we can come up with next for Thomas. Yeah, bye now, bye.